She moved in on a Monday. Apartment 6B, small, clean, a little too quiet. The building was old, but rent was cheap, and the view beautiful. City skyline, endless lights. But something felt off from the beginning. The elevator was slow, ancient. It groaned like it hated being used. And there were only 6 buttons, 1 through 6. No G, no lobby, no basement. Just 1 to 6. But that night, when she came home late from work, something strange happened. She pressed 6. The elevator started moving, groaned like always. But when it stopped, the screen read 7. There was no 7th floor. The doors opened anyway. And beyond them, darkness. No hallway. Just concrete. Pipes along the walls. And a single flickering light at the far end. She didn't step out. She couldn't. Because something was standing just outside the light. Still. Tall. Motionless. It looked like a person, but wrong. Too thin, too long. Its head turned slowly as if it knew she was watching. Then the elevator doors slammed shut, and it dropped. Fast. Back to the lobby. She ran up the stairs after that. Didn't sleep. The next morning, she told the building manager. He stared at her like she'd lost her mind. There is no 7th floor, he said. The elevator only goes to 6. Always has. She insisted. Showed him a photo she took of the 7 on the display. But the image was corrupted. Just static. She tried again the next night. Same routine. Pressed 6. Held her breath. The elevator stopped again. 7. This time, the doors didn't open. But something knocked. 3 slow, heavy knocks. From the other side. She never pressed the button. She never asked to go there. But the elevator remembered. The next day, she avoided the elevator completely. Took the stairs. All 6 flights. Twice. But even in her apartment, she didn't feel safe. There was a hum. Not from appliances. It was lower, deeper, like the building itself was breathing. That night, around 2:30 a.m., she woke to a noise. A soft ding. The elevator. She wasn't imagining it. She crept to her peephole. Nothing in the hallway. Just the old carpet and peeling walls. But the noise continued. Ding, 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 ding. Like the elevator was moving, floor by floor. Coming up, she looked through the window toward the shaft across the courtyard. No light. Then a flicker. The floor indicator passed 4, then 5, then 6. Then it paused. Buzzed. Then changed to 7. The same noise echoed in her hallway. But there's no 7th floor. She ran to her front door and opened it. Nothing there. But the hallway felt longer. Too long. Like it had shifted. And the far end, the exit stairs, were gone. In their place was an elevator. Same one. Just closer. Its doors were open. Inside, a figure stood. Not moving. Not breathing. Just staring at her. A tall, thin silhouette. She couldn't see the face, but somehow she knew it looked just like her. The figure raised its hands slowly and pointed upward. Then the elevator doors slammed shut. The hallway snapped back to normal. She fell to her knees, shaking. Morning came like nothing happened. But everything had changed. Her apartment was slightly different. The wallpaper had a new tear. The light switch was on the opposite wall. And worst of all, the mail on her table? It had her name. But the apartment number wasn't 6B. It said 7A. She lives on the 6th floor. There is no 7th. And yet, her copy of the lease says otherwise now. She checked the building plans, the blueprints. Everything stops at 6. But the elevator doesn't. Not for her. She tried to leave the next morning, packed a small bag, didn't even change clothes, just grabbed her keys and ran. But when she reached the lobby, it wasn't hers. Same structure, same tile, but the front desk was gone. No security camera. And outside the glass doors, just fog. No city, no street, just an endless gray emptiness like the world had been erased. She backed away slowly, took the stairs again, all 6 flights. Her hallway was there, but slightly different. The paint was darker. Her door, 6B, was now 6A, and the lights above the elevator blinked, slowly counting down. 9, 8, 7, 6. She ran inside her apartment and slammed the door. She opened her curtains to breathe, to remind herself the world was still real. But what she saw made her stomach twist. Across the narrow courtyard, directly across, was her own apartment. Same curtains, same potted plant in the window, same lamp, but she was standing in it. Another version of her, just standing by the window, still, expressionless. And then the other her slowly raised a hand and waved. She dropped to the floor, crawled out of sight, her heart pounding like a drum. She stayed down for hours, didn't move, didn't breathe. But when night came, the sounds started again. Ding! 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 The elevator, moving, up. She covered her ears, but the sounds were inside her head. This time the sequence didn't stop at 7. It kept going. 8, 9, 10, until finally, silence. Then the knocking started. But not at the front door. Not at the elevator. From inside her apartment. 3 knocks coming from the bedroom closet. She approached, holding her breath. Put her ear against the door. No sound. Just cold air. Then she whispered, barely audible, "Hello?" And from inside, her own voice answered, "Come back. We need you to open it." She didn't open the closet. Not that night. She dragged the dresser in front of it and stayed in the hallway with every light on. But just before dawn, something knocked again. 4 knocks this time. Slower. Angrier. When she finally gathered the courage to move the dresser and swing open the door, the closet was empty. Except it wasn't her clothes inside. It was a uniform. Old, dusty. A janitor's jumpsuit with a stitched name tag that read, "Property of Floor 9. She doesn't remember grabbing it. But somehow, later that day, it was folded neatly on her bed. She tried again to leave the building. This time she took the stairs down past the lobby. They went further than before. Sublevels. B1, B2, B3. But with each step the air grew colder. And she started hearing humming. Children's voices. Out of tune. Singing a song she didn't recognize. She stopped at B6. The wall there had crayon drawings all over it. Stick figures with no eyes. Elevators drawn like coffins. And a message written in red marker. Don't let the mirrors lie to you. She ran back up, heart pounding, until she reached the lobby. Except the sign now read, "Welcome to Floor 1. The floor numbers had changed. The lobby wasn't on the ground floor anymore. It was just another level. Another trap. And when she pressed the elevator button, hoping to return to the 6th floor, it opened instantly. Inside, the panel looked wrong. No numbers, just words. 6, 7. Reflect. Remember. Return. She didn't choose. But the elevator moved anyway. The floor it stopped on had no name, just a blank, black screen. The doors slid open. A hallway. Mirrors lined every wall, and in every reflection, a version of her. Some looked older. Some looked burned. One of them looked exactly the same, except her eyes were solid black. Then one of the reflections stepped forward, out of the glass, into the hallway. It smiled and said, in her exact voice, "We've missed you. You chose to forget, but now the building remembers." And behind her, the elevator doors closed, sealing her in. The hallway of mirrors was endless. Each step echoed with dozens of footfalls, hers and all the others. Some mirrors were cracked, others bled, but none showed the real her anymore. They all stared back with dead eyes, waiting, smiling. She ran. No plan, no direction, just the primal urge to get out. Eventually, the hallway twisted, turned down like a spiral, and there, at the bottom, a single elevator. Old, rusted, different. Above it, a floor number flickered. 0. The button didn't light up when she pressed it. But the doors opened anyway. Inside, no panel, just a mirror. And in that mirror, not her, but the reflection of her standing outside the building. Safe, breathing, alive, holding flowers. As if she had already escaped. As if she had never entered. She reached out, touched the mirror. It rippled, and then snapped shut like glass exploding in reverse. She woke up back in her apartment. 6B. Midday sunlight. Silence. The mirror in the bathroom was normal again. The floors were numbered like they always were. The elevator said nothing past 6. Even the janitor's jumpsuit was gone. Had it been a dream? Some psychological break? But then she saw it. A note on her kitchen table. Typed. Crisp. "Congratulations. You've completed the transition. You may now re-enter the building at any time. Floor access unlocked." No signature. No explanation. And her phone? Dead. No signal. Every photo in her gallery corrupted, except one. A selfie. Of her, standing in front of the elevator. Floor display behind her glowing. 13. She's never been to a 13th floor. Not in this building. Not in any. She deleted the photo. It came back. Twice. She smashed the phone. The next morning, it was fully intact on her nightstand. The same image was now her lock screen. She hasn't slept in 2 days. Because every night at 3:13 a.m., the elevator dings. Even when no one calls it. Even when the power's off. And just now, a knock at the door. 3 slow taps. She opens it. And she's standing there. The other her. Smiling. And behind her, the hallway stretches out to infinity. Mirrors on both sides. All versions waiting to be let back in.